All right, guys, we have a lot going on at the shop. Also have some news about Damon's 599. It appears that it is finally fixed and ready, well, not to come back here. We have to take it somewhere else. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Right now, Steve from PTG, he's gonna help us out. As you guys know, we had some issues with a car. Not from stuff that they've done, but we had some wiring that could have been chewed up by a rat. So there's a bunch of things in the car that doesn't work right now. He brought his computer over here so he can just plug into it, see if we can't code out all that stuff and get this thing working the way it's supposed to work. We also have an aftermarket wing on it. I get this error about the wing not working, and that stops you from going, what is it, 120
kilometers, yeah.
Dude, I just gotta say thank you because the car runs absolutely amazing.
Great.
And I'm guessing right now the tune that's in it is like a mild break-in tune. It's not set on kill, right?
I'm glad you put the braking oil in like we asked.
Yep.
So I'm sure you're gonna do an oil change soon. So
yes.
Once we get that all going, we'll actually put a real tune in.
And then you're gonna let me have some power because I want some more power.
We have some drifting right here.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I already did.
Seriously? It did? Yeah, awesome. Oh, good.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself. You're able to do the battery sensor coding.
Yeah, I'll code that. This one will code.
That's a relief. So it also has this like battery warning that comes up because we didn't buy the $2,000 original battery for two reasons. One, because it's $2,000, but the other reason is Mercedes doesn't even have any, so they can't sell you one. I just got a regular battery and we put it in there, but it has a connector that goes on the side that's connected like to the CAN bus system, right?
Yes.
So it's basically sending this information to the ECU and to the body control modules that the battery isn't plugged in or the battery's gone, basically. It doesn't really know what's going on. So you have to code that out.
It's on the rear wing malfunction as well. So we'll code that as well.
Okay.
When you turn it on though, some speakers do work right now?
Nothing. No sound. No sound for like phone calls, Bluetooth, like nothing. So you buy a car and you're like, all right, it's got a blown engine. No problem. Then you start tearing it apart and you're like, a rat's been chewing on some wires over here. That's not good. We start running diagnostic codes and we get, well, things are disconnected. Who would have came in and disconnected these things? Because I know the guy that owned the car, he was a customer of mine, and he was not the kind of guy that goes in and tears his car apart and disconnects things. He's not that kind of guy. Did something happen to the dealership? What would they have disconnected when they were doing a diagnostics to figure out that the engine is bad? It's really strange. All right, so we're pulling the stuff back out of the trunk. We actually had this stuff apart when we put the shocks in because the top of the shocks are buried in there. Did notice that there is some water stains down there. As far as I know, this car did not ever have any flood damage, but how did it get water in there? Why was the interior moldy? It's all just a big mystery, and we're trying to unravel this thing and get to the truth and figure out what really happened. But enough about the bad stuff. I'm still enjoying the car. Obviously, we have a lot of stuff we had to sort out, but we got some more mods on the list of things for this car. We're gonna do wheels for sure. I'm gonna do a body kit of some sort. I haven't really narrowed it down exactly what kit, and as far as color goes, I don't know what color I'm gonna wrap the car yet. It's a big decision. Oh.
What's up?
That definitely could be an issue. Check this out, if you can get the camera in there. But there's two grounds over here. You see a bunch of that like white corrosion on there. That could definitely be causing a lot of these electrical issues. I'm looking down here and it doesn't, like I can't find any like high water marks, like there was actually water that came up. But I don't know if when the car was overheating and he was driving back to the track, he had like jugs of water back here or something because he was constantly filling them up and maybe one of them spilled and that's how all the water got in the interior. Because I haven't found anything else. That part right there, I gotta take that off and I'm gonna clean the connections and put it back together and hope that that'll solve the issue. Ground issues are really common. Check the fuses, check the grounds, check the power supply before you check anything else, and that could be it right there.
There was a lot of rats in there. Look at all this rat piss right here.
Yeah, they were eating some stuff. One of them was like exploded on the firewall.
An actual rat?
Yeah, there was like a dead one that was
man.
blown up.
It's worth like 25 points.
So one other thing I wanted to ask you was blow-off valves.
Yes.
I can hear it a little bit sometimes, but I kind of want a little more noise, and that's kind of the old school 90s, early 2000s tuner in me.
Yes,
right.
Coming back.
You have the always had that cool blow-off valve sound on turbo cars. So do you guys have something?
We do. We have two different ones. We have just a standard spacer, which people call like a vent atmosphere, which is for noise.
Yep.
These are electronic. We have a physical blow-off valve that works with like your standard, what we're used to, vacuum and boost.
Got it. Okay.
So we both options are available.
Okay. We'll have to talk about that. See which one sounds better, which one's going to work the best. It's crazy when you buy buy a new car, everybody makes all these different parts for it. Obviously some of it's just garbage, right? It's just like add-on that doesn't do anything. Sometimes it even hurts performance, but there are a lot of cool things. So I'm just kind of going through the list and just like, yep, I want that. Making a little Christmas wish list right there.
Yeah, it looks great though, man.
Yeah, it's more than I expected. So we just did the KW coilover kit, the spring kit. We put those on. The car rides really, really nice. It's firm, but obviously it's the active suspension.
Yeah.
So when I put it in race mode, like this thing handles so well, and it's on R888s. I'm having a ton of fun with it. This thing is an absolute monster. It feels like a giant go-kart. So
yeah,
it's a blast to drive.
Power core layout.
Yeah,
they're fun, man. They're good cars.
Yep.
You know, all debt isn't bad debt. It's just that sometimes debt's necessary. Sometimes you have no choice. Far too many people are ashamed of their debt and they don't deal with it. They hide it. There are two ways people hide their debt. They literally hide it from their spouses. They hide credit card bills. Their spouse has no idea how bad it is. Or they use one credit card to pay the other credit card. And all that happens is more debt. Okay, it's not all bad news. It's not all bad debt. Sometimes you're in a tough situation. Medical bills, rent's due, you lost your job. It just happens, but there's a solution to get out of it, and that's our sponsor, PDS Debt. If you have over $10,000 in debt, click the link in bio right now and fill out a questionnaire. All you have to do right now is click the link below, do the questionnaire, and they're gonna get back to you with some options. It's that simple. PDS Debt is offering a free debt analysis. It only takes 30 seconds, so head over to pdsdebt.com/DD. Go right now, complete the questionnaire. Debt is incredibly stressful, but it doesn't have to be when you have PDS Debt on your side. Speaking of stressful, I'm late for the coffee run, so I gotta go back to the vlog.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out why we have water back here. Still trying to solve the mystery. The rest of the car, the floorboards, the passenger floorboard, the driver's floorboard, there is no water at all down there. So it's definitely somewhere in the trunk. And I'm looking over here and I see corrosion and dried water over here. And last time when we washed the car, I knew we got water inside, but that was because the emblem is missing. So I'm like, okay, water got in there. But when I opened it up, it was a lot of water. So it seems like there's something bigger that's letting water in. Check this out. So that is the factory wing motor. It looks like instead of coating it out, someone disconnected everything and just threw some zip ties in there to hold it in place. That's not the issue. The issue is with the aftermarket wing, these little water drains have been disconnected. So they're supposed to take the water that gets accumulated in there and drain them out here into there and just let them drip down. Well, they're completely disconnected, and it doesn't look like this wing is sealed very well.
It's not even mounted.
The nut's coming off. The wing is basically allowing water to get in between these two panels here and just pouring inside of the car. That's not great, but at least we finally figured out what the issue is and where the water is coming from so we can solve that problem. That's some fishing twine or something with some hot glue on there. Oh man, when you find stuff that other people have done to their cars. That's one more piece of the puzzle. Unfortunately, cleaning off those grounds didn't get the stereo to work. So I had to dig a little deeper for that, but at least we can solve this issue and not have any more water get into the back here and mess with the electronics. Steve was able to get a lot of these error codes wiped out of the system. Everything's looking good now. I can't wait to put some ethanol in
I
here.
just love to see that it's running. It's a real car now. So.
Yeah, I know.
It went from what it was a month and a half or 2 months ago to this. So
exactly.
It's really cool to see.
So basically one of the biggest issues that we had was the cam sensor alignment. So basically there's a cam sensor and then there is the cam actuator that actually turns the cam. The ECU stores these values. Obviously we've changed everything. So all of these cam parts have been replaced and we've got new parts on here, but now it needs to learn the new system. So if the cam is off by 1 degree, it's gonna throw an error code. And that's what was happening. So it was basically most likely not moving that exhaust cam at all and it was just stuck in one position, and that was cutting a lot of power and a lot of the response. So I haven't been able to drive it yet now that it's recoded. But one thing we could really tell like instantly that it's working now is it doesn't take like 3 seconds to start, because before I'd hit the button and it would crank over, and then fire it up. Well, now that he's got that cam set to relearn, all dialed in now, he hits the button and it starts right away. So that's a big improvement. Another issue we have is the exhaust has flaps in it. And when the flaps are closed, it's pretty plugged up. It's going through a muffler and through smaller tubing. It's really hard to see back here because on most new cars, it's got tips that aren't actually connected to the exhaust. So it's got this tip here, and then inside there is the actual exhaust, and around that corner is the flap to make make the car quieter. Well, the motor on one of them at least was seized. So we pulled the motors off so we can open the flaps. But right now they're just kind of hanging out, flapping around in the wind, basically. So I can open them by hand. But when we start the car, you hear them kind of rattle, and then I drive it, and it gets a little exhaust pressure, and it slams them closed. Basically, it's all plugged up. That's stopping a lot of the spool, so the turbos don't spool that fast, and it's hurting the power quite a bit. So we do need to solve that issue in the exhaust, and I'm looking at a few options, which we might actually even be able to solve today. We got a visitor here. We got Austin from Valtronic for a couple reasons. The one that I'm most excited about is talking about an exhaust for my AMG.
I do talk a lot about exhaust, so
Yeah.
this is a good conversation we'll have.
Let me show you the car.
All right, let's
come
do
on
it.
and check it out.
Let's check it out. How crazy do you want this to be? Talk to me. What do you need?
I need this thing to sound like really, really aggressive. Because right now we got the stock exhaust on it, and it sounds really muffled.
These twin turbo 4-liter V8s, so much possibility with how potent this platform is, with turbos, and
yes,
you guys are the masters at making stuff really wild.
We already went really wild here.
Jesus!
A PTG built this engine for us, so it's sleeved.
Yeah.
It's got CP pistons, Carrillo rods, CNC ported heads. It's got all the fuel system upgrades, and it's got their PTG 1000.
You know what I
turbos
love too is, like, aesthetically, no offense, it looks very, very conservative.
It is full sleeper right now.
Yeah, which I gotta say I like.
Yeah.
From the factory, a lot of people do they do downpipes or something on the car.
Yeah.
And they always keep the factory AMG performance exhaust, but what we have is, these cars kind of all sound the same, but we did an E63, a W213, same engine, and we made it sound really, really raw and exotic compared to anything else that we've seen on the market, because everybody does one mod, which is the downpipes. No one really messes with the AMG performance exhaust, but our new titanium system adds an nth degree of experience where the car is not that much louder, but the sound quality is so much better.
I'm all about that, because for me, it's the crisp. It's like, how good does the exhaust sound? The neighbors can hear me from 6 miles away. That's not necessarily the goal, but that sound, that crisp,
the quality, because then you compare, like, a buddy might rip past with his car with downpipes, you go, okay, it's louder than stock, but then you rip by in yours, it's like, it sounds like the 6.2 liter V8 cars, not the twin turbo 4 liter cars. Yeah, that's the type of experience we're trying to get.
That's right. And I mean, I know you guys have easily like one of the best sounding exhaust systems out there, because we have them on the 599s, but they sound really good and very unique.
Well, that's the thing is, with Valtronic, our goal was always unique sound characteristics. Anybody can go and buy, there are tons of great companies, and that's why I think Gintani got so famous, is because they captured people to know that was a Gintani sound.
Yes.
Totally transforming the way the SVJ sounded. The sound quality counts, not necessarily the volume, but volume's always fun.
Yes, volume's awesome too. I don't want it to be quiet, because it's way too quiet right now. And I know that this restrictive muffler is really hurting power.
The biggest thing that hurts power with these cars is because our exhaust is full 3-inch. This goes from 2.5 to 2.75 to 2 1/4.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to see this, and it's going to be hard to showcase on camera, but where these merges are, the pathway, because this is straight off, the exhaust path is, even when the valve is open, it's like filtering into the muffler anyway. So you're getting a lot of sound draw. For someone who just wants more volume, do the downpipes. But for these guys, you know it's got to be special. So that's what we're going to do. What happened to the taillights? These on fire at some point.
So we finally figured it out after trying to figure out what was going on, but it had a film on it, and then this car sat underneath a car park in the sun for like 4 years, and it just baked it on. So I got new taillights. They sent me 2 lefts by accident. So the other one's coming. It's on its way.
This thing with the turbos, with that full exhaust now.
Oh, it's gonna sound so good.
Actually, I can show it to you now. The quick clip of the E63.
Spicy.
Oh yeah. Perfect for your everyday sedan.
Yeah, right? Grocery getter.
I'm gonna prep the order right now.
There we go. Yes. We're getting mods done. Things are moving along. Oh man, I cannot wait to hear this thing without exhaust and with the bigger turbos, and all the tuning that Steve just did is gonna sound so good. All right, so the real reason that Austin from Valtronic came down here is because he really wanted to give me an exhaust for my car. No, that's not it. He actually is really interested in possibly buying Damon's 599. So we're gonna go over to Hector's shop right now and pick up the car. Austin's gonna meet us over there. We're gonna start this thing up, give it some revs, because he has hasn't heard the exhaust on that car in person, even though it's his company and they make that exhaust, he wants to hear it. It sounds insane
You got
in
to
video.
hear that car in person.
But man, when you hear it in person, it is just on another level. It's out of this world.
Mike, look how cool this car is, brother.
Is this a 512 or what is this?
This is a
Testarossa?
Woo! What a cool car. I even like the OEM wheels on here, I can't lie. They look cool.
timing belts, the most ridiculous thing. Enzo Ferrari was like, consumers, dealers, make money. No chains, belts.
Flat 12. So it is very, very wide. But yeah, 2 separate timing belts, one on each bank.
Oh,
very cool.
You must be Hector.
Yes.
Austin.
Awesome. Pleased to meet you,
Nice to
sir.
meet you, man. That's
What's
the
up,
best
buddy?
handshake
What's
I've
up,
felt in a
man?
long
How you
time.
What's up,
doing,
man? Michael, I haven't met you yet.
Oh, yeah. I think we spoke it to. Did we talk over the phone?
Yeah.
Or something? Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
So how's it going? A lot of our broken cars over here.
Yeah. It's all good. Well, we got this one kind of in a bad month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all
Yeah, so
good.
basically like the Ferrari factory was shut down, so ordering parts just wasn't happening. So
Yeah. They shut down every August.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
take a summer break. And it is Italy.
it is. And
Yeah, not only that, but I guess they're changing over their filing system or their whole system.
Oh, yeah.
And right now, people that are ordering parts are even having issues with Ferrari even shipping parts out right now.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got those bearings for the F12 before all this happened.
Yeah. So we're
Man,
good.
it's been a nightmare. This one is still broken because we're waiting for parts.
Yes, that's correct. You guys see on this one?
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. So
Here, I'll show you the fun part on this one. So when this cracked, I don't know if you have a touch
split
it
open.
split open.
Yep.
And it just spun on this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just stripped these gears open. So
Yeah.
part of what the stuff that you guys ordered are these bearings. So we're just putting new bearings on it. And unfortunately, you can't get the bearings unless you get this whole flange.
sounds like Ferrari.
Yeah.
So the red 599 it's all good now. It's fans
So-
are coming on and
Fans are coming on. We kind of made a system for the power steering pump. So we ran this system right here. So this is pretty much like a little lithium battery. So now what we're doing is the voltage from the alternator is going straight to the battery versus trying to split it off to the pump and here at the same time. Obviously we ran a fuse from here to here
Yep.
and here to here. So now we got a little bit of contingencies. You know, we got a ground wire straight to over here. Another thing I also did is I added another ground wire for this system.
Got it. Factory, yeah.
Yeah, because from the factory, the ground wire to the chassis was never good.
yep.
So we added an extra ground wire. I do know that these pumps right off the factory, they use like a 60 amp fuse, so I know they do draw a lot of
Oh yeah,
amperage.
yeah, definitely do.
So we ran the cable from your pump inside the rails up.
Okay, got it. Just glad you guys were able to figure that out and get this thing working because
Yeah.
this car's had a rough couple minutes of driving basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate it. And
course, appreciate
yeah,
you
now
guys.
it's off to the body shop so we can get this thing repaired because obviously you guys probably have seen that Damon got into the barriers and cracked the fiberglass bumper in the rear. At least there's no damage behind there, so it's just a fiberglass repair. And then in front, a little bit on the bumper and a little bit of a bent fender.
Piece, which was the titanium Valtronic exhaust
Yes.
tip, which
He-
fell off.
It didn't fall off. It got smashed off.
Actually, it never came
No,
off.
it was
I had
they
to,
did not.
I had to force
Tim
it off.
unbolted it. Yeah, the clamps worked. Everything was good. Good. When you hit a wall, things tend to break.
Tim, the guys are putting the last couple things in the 599. Let's play a little eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What are you
Grab
taking
it.
here? Are you going for it?
What's gonna happen?
I think if the battery's plugged in, then it'll dip down on you.
Is the alarm gonna? No, I'm not gonna.
I don't know if it will. It's probably unlocked if the hood's out.
I don't want to touch it.
Okay, what are you taking out here? You got the MP4, you got some Ferraris, G-Wagon, Aston even. What are you taking?
Is that a V12? No, it's not, right?
No, I don't think so. I love the clear taillights though. It looks sick.
I still want one of these, so maybe this.
Yeah? It's calling your name.
One day.
This one's for sale. It's got 100,000 miles, so this would probably be the least expensive.
40 grand?
Maybe. I don't know. I can find out.
This car is probably the most reliable one. It probably just works. It probably just works.
Never-
What's wrong with it? Why is it here?
Let me get the key. I don't know. It's here for a battery.
Ah, McLaren. That's what he says. What is he showing me?
Oh, the 94,285 miles.
Oh, I see the battery thing is red. That is very cool.
Yeah.
Damn, this thing has a lot of miles.
Go on, Tim.
40 grand, if he's interested.
He's not the owner.
It's 30.
I know.
I'll see what they want for it.
Mike says 30.
10.
I'll just take it.
What's up?
Right now. Yeah.
I think we should just all pull the money, just buy it together. Just take turns.
Whoever can do the longest rolling burnout gets to keep it.
If it doesn't break on him.
Yeah, exactly. I
If
think
it breaks on him, then you own it. You got to buy the whole thing.
I don't know who owns this. Whoever owns this, 40 grand max. 100,000 miles. Batteries broken.
Battery's broken.
Battery is broken.
Yeah, tell them what else is wrong with the car, Tim.
Hector, what else is wrong with the car?
It's McLaren. Everything's wrong with it.
You're not increasing the value.
Yeah.
So why does the door have a gap?
You know, it showed up.
Yeah, it's just missing.
Slight vibration, but it runs. You know, it drives. It's a McLaren.
I wonder if it's gonna sound like.
You ready to hear it?
I don't expect it to be that loud on a full start. The pops are just ridiculous.
The other one's even crazier.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Dude, it sounds so good.
Ah, the master enjoying his work. I'm holding the camera. Here we go.
It is an
What is it rev to?
almost 9,000 RPM.
Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent.
We've got the 599 now. We're gonna take it over to go see Evan at the body shop. But first, we're gonna make a stop. It's a stop that's important to me because it has to do with my AMG. We're gonna go over to Nick's shop and look at some wrap colors because I've been looking at a lot of pictures, but unless you see that color in person, it's really hard to tell exactly what it's gonna look like. Today might be the day that I decide on the color for my car.
Brother Nick.
Hot!
Why do you look like you're dying?
It's hot!
You got bad over here.
Yeah, dude,
hot.
it's actually
You gotta come over to
What in the world?
What's the shop?
Yeah, we just did some decals on the front and back there.
Yeah.
He's coming back in. We got to add a few more, but how's this running?
It's running.
You just got it from Ether?
Yeah. Yeah, so we just picked it up and stopped by to see you to look at some colors from my car.
Right.
Let's go. This is sick, but I don't know if I'd want my whole car that color.
To look like the Cobra Mustang?
No. Yep, thanks for pointing that out, Mark. I'm not
Oh, this
doing
is
that.
kind of what you were looking at before.
That's
Kind
the
of.
exact one I was going to show you.
Whoa. That's trippy.
It is. All right, that's a possibility. I'll take that outside and look at it in the sun. Too pinky purple. That's interesting too. It's almost like a teal.
Well, it's actually purple from here.
Now from this angle, like I don't know if you can see it, Mark.
Yeah, you
But
can.
it looks like gray, just like regular gray.
And then
And
you,
then
look
you get
straight
there, and it gets like this green, like pearl, but it's crazy reflective and like deep looking.
up. All the colors are kind of like that. This is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like a peach.
That's
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool. If you were to
that's-
do it a red.
yeah. That one doesn't change
That
a
one's pretty
whole
flat.
lot. Yeah, it's not as much. But it's not bad. But I don't know if I'd have the whole car red.
Whoa.
Oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, not. Yeah, that I don't know. That I'm not really. Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's actually a pretty popular color.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people use that. Are you set on green?
No. So I'm still really trying to figure out what body kit I'm going to run, what wheels I'm going to run. And it's like, all right, what color wheels do I want? Does that match with the wrap? You got to get it right because you can definitely mess up along the way. I really want this to be right because like you guys know, I'm planning on leaving in a year or so. This car that's it, right? I'm building this car up. I want to have a lot of fun with it. I want to love every part of it. So I want to get this stuff right. Because it's not like I'm going to sell this car and I'm just going to buy another one in a year and just do it over and over again. So I'm extra picky. And I've had so many liveries over the years on my drift cars, but they've always been like really wild, all these sponsor graphics and all that kind of stuff. I still want it to look good. I still want it to be a bit wild and definitely stand out, but it has to be, I don't know, perfect in my eye. You know, mirrors a different color, obviously like some carbon side skirts and a carbon rear diffuser and bits of black like that. And the roof is gonna stay black because it's the panoramic roof, so it's a glass roof. So that's gonna stay, you know, black on top on that panel. So I think that's enough to break it up. And I'm also not looking for the craziest, brightest color.
Satin frozen red. I think think that's what they called it. And that looked amazing. This had like an amazing shimmer to it.
Yeah.
But that's an option.
So there's a lot of options.
There's a lot.
It's like the more I keep looking, the more options there are, which definitely doesn't help me narrow it down.
Dial in the color of the rim first.
Yep.
100% dial in the color of the rim. Play with the samples that you get and go, okay, well, this look good with what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
You know, have a better idea of it.
More things to mull over in my head. Every time I walk past the car, I'm like, man, would that look good? Would that look good? It's tough. Yeah. It's tough.
Did Dave do the thing?
Of course there's no gas in it.
Yeah.
Drink a little Starbucks coffee because
Yeah, you gotta lock in here.
There's no cup holders though.
Oh yeah.
That hits the spot.
Can.
That hits the spot though. Yeah, a little can. A little wake me up before I go sit in traffic for an hour.
You know, Mike, I would ride with you. I'd be in this battle with you, side by side, hand in hand. That's
No,
right.
you wouldn't, Mark.
I would
No,
hold
you
your
wouldn't.
hand. But the seatbelt on that side isn't working.
Ferrari problems, brother. That airbag went off, and the retractable seatbelt went off too. So, yep, more things to fix.
All right, Mike, you can do it.
Of course, we picked the hottest day of the year, literally, to move this thing. Not only doesn't have any air conditioning, but also just kind of like radiates heat out of it. Not gonna lie, it was pretty toasty in there, but kind of used to it, I guess, for all these years of racing in the heat in these crazy places where it's 100 degrees outside and 95% humidity. We're here with Evan, and he's gonna patch this thing up for us. You already saw the car, right?
Yeah, we already know the business.
Yeah, so it's got the little ding in the front end.
Yep.
And then the little ding in the rear end. You know, a couple things. So what you think, like 1 or 2 days?
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna say
Just
2 or
messing
3
with-
weeks always.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not going to be super
It's not
easy.
too bad, though, yeah.
It's aluminum here, so yeah, I obviously have to patch that thing
Got
up.
a metal guy.
Nice. And fiberglass the bumpers and all that good stuff.
It's not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me give you the keys to this. And we got one other thing for you. I don't know if they talked to you about this, but we brought something else over that needs some repairs.
What do you
Another
got?
like quick repair.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all, actually. This one was Dave's doing, not Damon's doing. So one car for each of them.
Oh my God. Well, that's a project.
Well, there's this also. A little bit of damage on Damon's car and a little bit of damage from Dave crashing into a fence. There you go.
So we'll say 2 to 3 weeks and 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Gee.
Well, it's not only this, it's also the back.
How the How'd they do that?
It was actually on purpose. We were at Laguna Seca Grid Life and we were having a bit of fun. We were pushing the van around with the truck. It was fun. It was a good time, but now we need a new rear bumper and a new hatch to go along with all of the front end stuff.
Yeah, that's an expensive on purpose, but that's all right.
Yeah, well, this is DDE, so every day is super crazy. First thing, obviously, is, you know, patch it up, repair this thing, because it's pretty trashed. But other than that, like, what about lowering this thing, doing some stuff to make it cooler? Because right now, I mean, it's such an iconic vehicle for DDE, the Carrera van. Obviously, we have the replacement, but to get the original one back up and running would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But we gotta make it cooler. This one's already got the nitrous in it. Had a rebuilt transmission, but it's smoked now, so probably needs a transmission rebuild too while it's here, since you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, if we get some wheels for it.
Get some wheels.
Lower this thing.
The guys do low riders, so there's no reason we couldn't bag it.
Yeah. Oh, hydraulics on this thing? That would be crazy. That'd be pretty sick. I mean, airbags would be cool. Hydraulics would be crazy.
Yeah.
Get this thing to jump. I love
4D.
lowriders, so just get this thing like hopping. That'd be pretty sick. What do you guys think? What color should we do the van? And what mods should we do to the van? Obviously, we've got the nitrous. There isn't really like a coilover kit, so we can't just put like a coilover suspension on here without going crazy and having like a custom kit made. But what style wheels? If they do have a kit for bags on this thing.
They do. I think
maybe that's the way to go.
With some 22s.
Yeah.
Or we go full pimp my ride. Let's put a fish tank in it.
TV in the headrest.
We'll leave that up to you, Tim.
You can access the ECU nice and easily.
That's pretty good for hitting the fence.
Yeah, the pole right here. So we got the pole, and that smashed all this stuff, and then the fence. So it's definitely a lot more cosmetic.
Yeah.
Cracked the radiator, right? We were leaking. Yeah, we were leaking coolant.
Maybe the AC condenser too. Who knows?
If you do, drive it, keep it in short. short bursts, so we don't need to put an engine in it too.
Trans will be enough.
Yeah. Apparently these are not very strong transmissions.
As bad as it gets.
We found that out twice.
Well, the nitrous doesn't help.
Nitrous doesn't help.
Yeah.
Is there a build you could do?
Not here. Not here. We do a lot of high horsepower stuff, but not in minivans.
Yep. So we're all done over here at Evan's shop. Time to head back to the HQ.
What's up?
No way.
Hey, that's a BMW.
We're coming from the other side from the country just to see you.
Yeah?
Yeah, other side to Bulgaria. I don't know if you know
It broke down on the highway coming here.
No way.
Yeah, started leaking coolant everywhere, smoking.
Well, that was pretty cool. It's always cool when we get here and show up at the shop and there are fans that are waiting outside to see us. And honestly, we've been able to meet so many of you guys, which I know isn't even like putting a dent in how many fans DDE actually has. But like I was saying, it's so cool to get to meet everybody. And those guys were from Bulgaria, like all the way from Bulgaria. They got off the plane, they got a rental car, and they came over here, and it just happened to be the right timing to meet up with us. So awesome to meet those guys and everybody else that shows up here. Yeah, well, that was a solid day. I am hot, I am tired, and it is time to go home and relax for a bit. I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you again next time.